morning, Hassan.
How are you doing?
Good, thank
You've
you
been
much.
away for quite some time.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, this is going to be the last episode of the HR podcast.
True.
And through the 3 episodes that we've been in, personally, and I believe all the people who watch it, we had really good amount of informations about the whole HR and everything in the process, concepts, everything. Which is weirdly take me to a question, which is, maybe I should have asked this in the beginning, but actually it came more and more clear when we reached last episode. What really inspired the whole idea of creating a podcast about HR?
Yes. First of all, I can't believe this is like our last episode, because whenever I'm sitting in front of you and having this engaging talk, I feel that, there's the wealth of informations and experience. One can sit and talk for hours and hours. But then we decided that, we will work in this manner so that we give in limited time a good information. Okay, coming back to the question about what inspires, I have always seen that, healthcare is always known for the innovations, the medical expertise of people, the frontline professionals, frontline workers. It's always celebrated with their names, But there are the silent heroes. There are silent heroes at the back, and HR is one of them. I wanted to bring in those kind of unseen experiences, talks, or informations about this function, what we do in HR. That was my point of doing this HR podcast series, so that people know that HR in healthcare is very different from other HR. So that was my reason of doing this
Brilliant.
series.
Okay, then based on this
Yeah.
explanation from your side, what is the sort of through this 3 episodes that we passed, what you can give us like a basic insights from what's been discussed before?
Yeah, sure, definitely. See, basically, this series gave me an opportunity to speak about my own experience, my journey in HR, how I started. It was never a straight line role, that, okay, I graduated and I wanted to become a HR. It never happened like that. If you remember, I started my journey as a
Lawyer,
legal professional,
yes, exactly.
and then moved into HR. And why I moved into HR. So in our previous series, I was able to share all those my experiences. Other than that, we spoke about the challenges what we face in healthcare, in terms of getting the best talents for your organization. So the talents are highly skilled talents, and it is not that that you have a limited workforce, but the demand is high. So we spoke about that in our second series, which was more concentrated on talent acquisition, retention, and other things. And we spoke about the type of contracts which gives you more flexibility to work.
That was very interesting topic.
Yeah, that was
We
an
haven't
interesting topic. You really learned a lot through my discussion over that.
Yeah.
Then we spoke about the licensing,
Yes,
how
exactly.
important is licensing.
Yep.
That people come to Dubai or UAE thinking that we can get a job here, because we are a doctor. In fact, yesterday I was exchanging some messages with a doctor who has come from Hong Kong, and a highly experienced doctor. He's anesthetist, and he has sent his logbook and other things, but he doesn't have a license. He's not aware that there is a license. So he has already arrived with an experience, and the supportings which shows that he will be a good fit for any other healthcare hospital. So as of now, we don't have any vacancy. So I did guide him over there. So there are lots of people over there who are not aware of how it works, to get an entry into UAE. So our episode spoke about that. The last episode was my journey, how I covered my journey from my HR executive level to the CHRO. Because people always think that, what is CHRO? It's like a very top notch position. But that top notch position is not just about people management. People often think that it's about people manager. No, it's not about people manager. It's about strategic HR. And what is strategic HR in healthcare is very different, what we spoke in that episode, that strategic HR is all about not just people and process, it's about being empathetic, being using your emotional intelligence to work at your workspace, and managing those kind of untoward incidents which happens in a healthcare facility. You have to keep yourself calm and composed to manage those. So those are the things which we spoke in the last episode, my journey from my executive level to CHRO, and what exactly you need to do to become a CHRO. So that was very interesting episode to talk about.
Yes, indeed.
And yeah, finally we are in the final episode, and I guess you have certain kind of questions which you are looking forward. I'm looking forward to hear those questions and answer them.
Actually, I'll pick up one of your words that you mentioned now, and actually, I was actually saving this kind of question for the last.
Oh, really?
You mentioned intelligence, and there's, this is the word that I'm going to start from. AI.
Yeah.
Now it's become a necessity. It's become everywhere. It's become like something we cannot escape from. Let's be, honest and be. Everyone's saying like, no, we're not using AI. So sorry, that's not true. So everybody is now using AI. But is it really have that impact, or what is the impact, you think, on an HR and the HR in healthcare and in whatever it is setting now?
Sure. See, way back in 1980s, when the computers came, people were really worried about that will become obsolete, and there were roles which became obsolete also. But then the digital entry made a space for new skills, new requirements, So the computers actually helped people to work more efficiently. Same way, artificial intelligence is here to stay, and it is definitely here for our benefit. It is going to help us in our day-to-day work. It is going to make our work more efficient. There will be certain roles which will become obsolete, but there will be also some emerging skills and roles which will come with this.
Yeah, like
So-
most new technology, it's
Yeah.
eliminates some positions and
True.
create a different type of
True.
position
true,
also.
True. In healthcare, the artificial intelligence is already there. If I talk about other than HR, we are already there in robotic surgeries we are doing. We
Yeah, a
have
lot of
so many
research now,
yeah,
diagnosing,
yeah,
a lot of
diagnosis
things.
are happening on the AI platforms. There are lots of things which has already entered the healthcare space. Now, when it comes to HR, we have plenty of areas where we are exploring the artificial intelligence. One is definitely the amount of CVs which we get, in healthcare. You know about it, people apply for different kind of roles. So the current practice or age-old practice has been with many of us, has been, going through each and every CV, responding to them, screening those CVs. So the screening element of CV can be very well done by the AI. So if you give the right prompts, that helps for the AI to
filtering
work
and-
on it and get you. So there is an algorithm which works behind it, and it helps, to find the right CV out. So that's about the screening part, And then when we talk about this AI working for us and the predictive analysis, a lot of people are talking about predictive analysis these days, because when I attend the conferences, they talk about this. I want to learn from them as well what they really talk about the predictive analysis. How do they use that? But in healthcare space, we can use the predictive analysis a lot of ways, what I could foresee. Although we have yet not entered into it, probably in the near future we will be taking a full set of AI modules for us to understand how this predictive analysis is going to help. So first, most important thing is that, that, the healthcare works on duty rota, rotational work is there. You have to ensure the healthcare workers are available 24/7. So when you're doing this kind of duty rota kind of thing. So if you have a AI, you can actually understand where the workforce is required. So for instance, you have, like we have 500 plus staff nurses, although they are specialized in different areas, but there are a pool of nurses who can be utilized in many places. So through this predictive analysis, you can understand where the requirement is, where the burnout is happening. You can actually manage those workforce much better manner. So predictive analysis works help in doing the workforce management. That's one. Secondly, the predictive analysis can help us on the attrition part, because healthcare also faces huge attrition. As I mentioned to you, that there is a demand and supply. The supply is less, the demand is more, because more and more hospitals are coming up.
Exactly.
Especially in Dubai, we already have about 55 hospitals,
It became a health
55
hub,
hospitals.
world
Yeah,
health
it
hub.
is becoming a hub. It's a strategic location. People know about it, that it has a very strong regulatory
With all
bodies on board.
facilities they are
So people
giving.
come here. People come here for their treatment. So obviously, the predictive analysis helps us to see where the turnover is happening, why the turnover is happening, what we need to do about it. So predictive analysis can be utilized in these kind of ways, optimized utilization of manpower resources, and addressing this attrition part. And also you can look at your own other data, which helps you to understand the pulse of the people, that is the employee engagements. We do employee engagements yearly once, but this analysis is very yes or no, but the predictive analysis can help us do a deep dive into the data and work on that. So AI helps us in that manner, what I mentioned. Another very interesting thing, in our hospital, I keep seeing that people like to come to HR and reach out to our help desk and ask their basic questions that can relate to their leave, that can relate to any probability of different types of things which they want to do, short working hours or their attendance or many other things they ask. So the AI helps you to come out with the chatbots, So if the chatbots, through the chatbots, you can actually answer those queries at the real time basis, rather than making them come to your place and answering them. Although the face-to-face human touch and other things really matters, but then this could be one of the areas which can be addressed. So what happens is that these are the areas of work which are handled by people as of now. So if we have these kind of digital platforms, then definitely those roles become obsolete. But then when those roles become obsolete, you can actually transfer those resources for something more meaningful, to bring up the more efficiency.
So after all this, what you tell us about AI and the way you use or it can be used, the HR leaders or the HR manager or the HR in charge shouldn't be sort of caution or like a little bit worry about the AI and the way AI been used?
True. See, it's all about usage of a technology, This is a new thing which has come and it's here to stay. So one has to spend time of learning it, how it can be used better. For example, when I spoke about the CV screening part, if we rely totally on the AI, giving the instructions and prompts very clearly that this is the kind of CV I'm looking for, For instance, I'm looking for an anesthetist. So this is experience, this is the qualification, this is the region I'm looking for. It will give me the CVs. But however, I may miss out some of the CVs which may not have mentioned anesthetist as an anesthetist. Maybe it would have mentioned as cardiology anesthetist, or it would have mentioned in a different way, where the anesthetist may have mentioned about his role in a different way without giving the anesthetist. But although this example may vary from position to position.
Definitely.
But, giving another example just to talk more about it, cardiology, if we mention with a prompt that I'm looking for a cardiologist, it'll give me the CVs with that kind of cardiologist. But I'm looking for interventional cardiology. So you have to mention those kind of things to see it. But however, having given even the prompts, there are chances of missing out some good CVs, which may not have been presented the way you're looking for. Okay, so I would suggest that use the AI to the extent of driving or extracting the information what you want, but also use your own intelligence of differentiating these kind of CVs. Okay, about the CV screening part. Second is that we use a good. This is part of our roles, HR role. The emotional intelligence part. AI doesn't have that kind of thing. So when I spoke about the
Yet.
chatbot,
Yet.
yeah, yet. So it is still not human, and it will not become a human for sure, because again, this is all machine driven. The human part cannot be totally eliminated. You definitely need, and healthcare is all about human touch. So you have to have the human factor into it. So the chatbot, the chatbot may ask your questions. Or for instance, somebody is asking about compassionate leave, and may not give you the exact word of compassionate leave. May say that so and so had passed away in my family. What kind of leave you have? It may not give you a compassionate leave. It may just give you an answer. Well, you're not eligible for leave because your system shows there is no leave balance. So that's being very direct with a person, So here, that's what I'm talking about. Empathize, being empathetic.
Yeah,
so when you reach out to HR, when you reach out to HR, the first response will be, "Oh, okay, somebody passed in your family. What happened? Okay."
Exactly, having the
so that compassionate discussion happens on the floor, and then we give you an answer also. Yes, we do have a compassionate
that's a human touch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what these are the things what one has to be aware of. And most important, HR is all about data privacy. We really guard our data. Ensuring that this data should not be leaked to anywhere. So AI, when you're giving the data, it is actually taking all your informations about your organization. So that information is getting stored in different places, and I don't know how the algorithm works and what kind of information will come out. So in a way, you have shared your information. So if you share informations without any name, without any details, then probably that can help you. Generic questions can be asked with the AI, but if you're getting more into AI and giving informations, then make sure that you have a strong data protection system. You can work out with your IT to make sure the firewalls are there and the fire securities are there. Cyber security is there in place before your data is leaked out. So because data leakage is a huge threat for the healthcare, whether it is employee database or the patient database, and I'm sure you know what has happened in the recent few months here in UAE, how the data had got leaked out. So AI will ask. AI is so easy to use, but then these kind of things which we need to be really thinking about it.
Well, that means the new HR leaders or HR executive or HR in charge, they have to learn new skills. They have to have a new set of skills. As these things coming up, they have to have a new skills, isn't it? Like, so as an HR in the future, I have to learn new skills which wasn't there in the past, to adapt, to follow this kind of an AI or a new trends that's happening, isn't it?
Yeah, sure, definitely. As I mentioned to you, the AI can be taken in these kind of three areas, what I see from my side. One is about the talent, acquisition part, the recruitment I'm talking about. The second can be about the employee experience, which is with the chatbot and others. And third is about the analytical side. HR is all about the analytical side, because you have loads of people information with you, and this people information can be very well understood by the AI, and HR analyst who is proficient in AI can actually bring that data to the chief of HR or the management to present, so that that data can help us, because HR is all about business. Healthcare is about HR, human resource, people. And if we know where the trend is going, what it is happening with the people, what exactly speciality we need to add, with the current people demographic, where are we losing out, what kind of nationality can really help with the population demographic what we have, and how the trend is going. So to do a complete trend analysis, this AI informations can really help. And for that, HR analyst who is who has the competency in the AI area can do this well.
So again, based on all this, we could imagine a new even roles in HR emerging, and coming up with a new roles in HR, isn't it? Based on, as you said, there's a AI analytic and then the prediction analytics. So basically, in the coming 5 years, could be totally new type of positions, a new type of roles coming on HR.
Absolutely. See, currently the way we have designed the HR is, talent acquisition and talent management team, compensation and management team, and the HR operations who are doing the licensing, contracts, and other things. Now, as you are aware that Abu Dhabi has already taken, AI tool to see the CV screening and schedule the interviews and other things. They have already implemented it. So the larger workforce you have, you can implement these kind of tools. And having said that, the new roles which I just spoke about can be more defined in these kind of areas. For instance, the compensation management team can have a HR analyst who is completely on the compensation. So the payroll and attendance part definitely works, but then you have a person who is analyzing this information, and can tell you about the cost and numbers in a real time. Secondly, on the employee experience part, when I spoke about the chatbot, there can be a set of people who are working on the employee relations. They can actually transform their role into the chatbot and give those kind of informations which are more useful to the people at the real time. And then these people can be utilized for a different kind of roles where they can have more human interface, where they can bring in the efficiency what is required in the department, and whereas the transactional roles can become AI generated roles. So these are the areas where I see that can play an important role in this space.
Yeah. Well, a lot of things you mentioned about AI, but still I believe there will be something consistent in HR, even though we keep automating, we keep implementing AI and new technology, but there will be always something consistent in HR, what it can be.
Definitely. As I mentioned to you in the beginning of the series, emotional intelligence, that plays a very, very important role. When you're actually communicating a certain decision to a person, to an employee, the emotional intelligence plays a very important role. So you're not working like a robot. So, and plus different kind of situations in the healthcare demands the HR to have this part very strongly in, and we develop people in that area, the emotional intelligence. We give training programs also, we share case studies, so making people understand how to handle different situations. Second is the ethics part. The ethics is very, very strong. One has to, whether it is work ethics or medical ethics or professional ethics, everything is linked to the HR. So you cannot really take out this part of ethics part from the normal way of working. So, and of course the empathy, because in healthcare, the kind of people whom we are hiring, who are working, they are in a very high stressful job, high risky, high stressful job. They are the lifesavers. So when we are bringing these lifesavers, there is a huge amount of responsibility on HR as well, to bring the right people to the hospital to work for us, So this is very important, that we need to be very empathetic in situations which it demands you to be like that.
So as we are in the last episode, okay, can you share with us a moment or some incidents that really things it's special through your HR and history in the healthcare?
There are several incidences which I passed through being in healthcare, at least in UAE for the last 15 years. And I see that, people are complex. They are not very simple for somebody to understand. And you have to really spend time to know them well. And this arises several situations which becomes a memory later,
That takes us back to the first episode. Remember when we were explaining that HR being HR is understanding people and know people.
Yeah. So one of them, which is more business related, I'll talk about this incidents which happened about year and a half back. I came across a doctor who was highly skilled and highly specialized in the surgical field, and he was already very well established and working for a different hospital. But as he got to know about our hospital culture and place, and we give importance to the technology and people, profession, elevation happens because of that. So he was very keen to join us. Having spent good 20 years with other hospitals, he wanted that whatever years I have, I should be able to become a part of Al Zahra. So he met me and we discussed at length about his role, what he has. He was not a normal surgeon. He had something very unique to offer, and that was the most interesting piece about it. So as a HR, when we meet up doctors or any other professionals, we spend time to understand them. So we just don't take the CV and keep it with us. We understand what is that they have, which we may see in the future to come, or we may require it here. So after hearing his background, I had connected him with my medical director and the surgical head to know him well. And when they went through his logbook and other things, they were very, very impressed. And I'm really happy to share that today he's become a part of Al Zahra Hospital.
Yeah, really?
And he's really doing very, very interesting cases, which is bringing Al Zahra's name on the top, And I'm glad that I was a part of that recruitment, identifying the right resource for the hospital. Like that, as HR, we come across many, many kind of incidences where we meet people, and they think that, oh, HR, we are here only to give the CV. No, we are here to listen to you. We are here to know about your background and see where we can fit you in the future or for the current needs. So this incident really made me happy because I was the one who brought that lead to the hospital, and when he's doing well, I'm feeling good about it. Yeah. And the doctor's success stories really help us because we also know that the amount of time we spend on bringing them on board, because that, a recruitment doesn't happen in a day. It takes 3 to 6 months time to get converted for a position, any position, clinical positions I'm talking about. So as a HR, we are very happy to hear that when we hear the success stories of these people who are prospering well in the organization, growing well in the organization. So, yeah.
Awesome. And lastly, any words, any thoughts you can share with us as the last thing to be the closure of the series?
Sure, definitely. Well, my journey has never been a straight line, as I mentioned to you, from a legal profession to HR, I moved in. From doing a HR administrative role, policy, HR administrative role, transactional roles, to do everything and then become a CHRO today. The journey has been long, but it has been also very enriching. I would like to share this that, stay cautious, stay curious, and stay relevant. This is very, very important for us. When I say cautious, it's like, choose the right people with whom you want to work with, because the choice, you can make the choice, not that people make the choice for you. So choose the people who can actually mentor you and guide you. Seek for mentorships, and become a mentor for others. Like I'm a mentor for many people, but I also seek mentorship. So I look for people who can mentor me in my role. So being cautious, being curious, very, very important. Whatever you do, today when I look back these 30 years of experience, I was curious at every level, even when I was doing the file management part, I was curious to know what goes into the file. So it is like that. So stay curious about it. And that keeps you growing, curious about people, curious about place, curious about your own organization, what's going around, and that leads to the last part of it, being relevant. Staying relevant is very important. Today AI has come, tomorrow something else will come, maybe a more robotic way of doing things. If you're relevant, that will help you to mold yourself well, to adapt to the new systems and new culture well. So being relevant in the sense that you have to be also stay connected within your organization, outside the organization as well. I see that a lot of people miss out on the networking opportunities. I strongly recommend people to go for the networking opportunities, because you may not know whom you're going to meet. You may meet a mentor. You may become a mentor for someone else, because becoming a mentor is also very enriching.
Exactly.
Because you're unlearning things, you're trying to guide somebody. So that's also interesting. And these networking forums helps, because they are actually sharing some of the best practices in these forums. There are speakers who come in. So the networking forums happens online, virtual conferences happen, and even in person happens. So I strongly recommend all HR professionals to be staying relevant, attend these kind of programs, whichever suits your needs, but stay relevant in today's world.
Ms. Vijaya Zig, sorry, cut. Ms. Vijaya Zig, the head of HR in Al-Zahra Hospital. Again and again, thank you so much for the time you spent with us. I'm on the personal level, I've been really getting a lot of informations and education. And I believe everybody is watched or watching the series will get the same amount of information and education and mentorship, let's say, because it's a journey of a person who's really achieved a huge achievement and involved in changing life of other people and adding to life with other people. Again, ma'am, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for this amazing episodes, and wish to have maybe another type of series later on.
Sure. Thank you so much, Azan.
Thank you so much.
It was really nice being a part of the series and sharing all those insights and experiences. And I still feel there is a lot we can really talk about. Definitely, this conversation will keep going on. I would like to say this to all my viewers or people who are interested to know more about us. LinkedIn is a big platform. We are there already. I'm available on the LinkedIn. Whoever wants to reach out to me can always. And we are also there on the Instagram.
Yeah.
So stay tuned and stay relevant.